We are the Smarter Business with AI podcast, your go-to source for practical AI applications tailored to small and medium-sized enterprises. Each week, we break down how AI is transforming businesses, from streamlining customer service to optimizing operations, while driving productivity and growth. Hosted by digital experts from New Era AI, we turn complex AI concepts into simple, actionable insights for your business. Whether you're starting your AI journey or looking to scale with cutting-edge technology, the Smarter Business podcast will provide the knowledge and inspiration you need to thrive in our ever-changing marketplace. Building things in our modern world is complicated, which means we can leverage machine learning technology to make it easier. Today, we discuss how AI will transform the construction industry. Let's get started.
Welcome back to Smarter Business with AI, where we break down practical AI solutions for your SME.
That's right, and this week we're tackling a big one, AI in construction.
And no, we're not talking about some distant future with robot overlords. This is about using AI right now to make construction smarter, safer, and more efficient.
It's about boosting your bottom line by making smarter decisions at every stage, from the initial blueprint to handing over the keys.
Exactly. And it all starts with the foundation, literally. We're talking design and planning, but not just the way you're thinking.
Right. Forget those weeks spent going back and forth with architects. Imagine inputting your needs, like, budget, square footage, even your sustainability goals.
And the AI just, spits out the perfect design.
More like it unlocks a whole new level of design possibilities. We call it generative design.
Okay, so walk me through it. What makes it so generative?
Well, think of it this way. You give the AI your wish list and your budget. The AI then explores every possible design option, considering all the angles you might not even think of.
So instead of just one design, you get, like a buffet of options to choose from?
Exactly, but each of those options has already been vetted by the AI for things like cost effectiveness, energy efficiency, you name it. And crucially, it factors in all that nitty-gritty data.
Nitty-gritty, like what? Give me the specifics.
We're talking building codes, material costs, even hyperlocal weather patterns, stuff that can make or break a project down the line.
That's a serious leg up in construction. But even with the best laid plans, things happen, right?
Oh, absolutely. Anyone who's ever tackled a renovation knows that feeling.
Right, which is where I'm guessing AI swoops in to save the day.
You got it. And this is where things get really interesting, especially for companies looking to gain an edge. We're talking about the power of AI in project management.
Okay, you got to give me the details. How is AI changing the project management game?
Think about those classic construction headaches, right? Bad weather throws you off schedule, materials don't arrive on time, suddenly you're looking at delays and budget blowouts.
Oh, tell me about it. I've been there.
The good news is AI can actually predict a lot of these problems before they even become an issue.
Hold on a minute. Is AI reading tarot cards now? How does it do that?
Think of it like this. AI is like a super-powered project manager, working 24/7, never misses a detail. It crunches massive amounts of data, everything from historical weather data to real-time material availability.
So it's not magic. It's just really, really good data analysis.
Yeah.
But once it's found these potential problems, what then?
That's where things get really interesting. This AI project manager doesn't just point out problems. It actually steps in with solutions.
Solutions like what?
Well, say there's a high chance of bad weather next month that could delay the pouring of a foundation. The AI might recommend adjusting the schedule now, bringing in other tasks earlier to stay on track.
So it's like having a crystal ball, but instead of predicting the future, is helping you get ahead of it.
Precisely. It's about using data to make more strategic decisions, allocate resources effectively, and, importantly, stay on budget.
That's incredible. And to think, we've only just scratched the surface. We haven't even talked about AI on the construction site itself.
Yes. Now that's where those robots you mentioned earlier come into play.
Okay, bring on the bots. Are we talking full-on sci-fi movie here?
Not quite sci-fi just yet, but we're getting there. AI-powered tools are already changing the game when it comes to safety, speed, and efficiency on job sites.
I bet. I can definitely see how drones would come in handy. Are we talking about surveying and stuff?
Surveying is just the tip of the iceberg. Imagine a drone controlled by AI that can create a complete 3D model of your construction site in, a fraction of the time it would take a human crew.
Now, that's what I call a bird's eye view. So
Yeah.
drones are already out there doing their thing.
Yeah.
What about actual robots? Boots on the ground,
Yeah.
getting their hands dirty.
Oh, that's happening too. We're seeing robots handling those repetitive, sometimes risky tasks. Think bricklaying, welding, things like that.
So instead of replacing jobs, it's more like AI is taking over the tasks that no one really wants to do anyway, right?
And doing them with incredible precision. That means fewer errors, less waste, and importantly, freeing up human workers for more specialized tasks.
Makes sense. But robots aside, I'm really curious about how AI is being used to improve safety on job sites. That's such a critical issue in construction.
Absolutely. And AI is already making a difference. We're talking about AI-powered cameras that can identify if someone isn't wearing proper safety gear or sensors that monitor air quality for any hazards.
It's like having a super vigilant safety inspector who never sleeps and sees everything. This is amazing.
And it doesn't stop there. AI can even use those detailed 3D models we talked about earlier to create virtual safety simulations. So before a single worker steps foot on site, they can virtually navigate the entire project.
Wow. That's like taking a test drive before buying the car.
Yeah.
So we've got AI in the design phase, managing the project like a pro, and even making the job site safer and more efficient. Is there any part of construction that AI isn't touching?
Believe it or not, we've only just scratched the surface. Remember, up to this point, we've mainly focused on the parts of construction that are, well, easy to see and visualize.
Okay, so what haven't we talked about? What's happening behind the scenes?
We're talking about the back office, that land of contracts, invoices, and permits.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine. That sounds like a paperwork nightmare.
It can be. Traditionally, managing all that documentation has been a very manual, time-consuming process, but AI is changing all of that.
Wait a minute, are you telling me AI can handle paperwork now? Sign me up.
It's not quite as simple as that, but there are AI-powered software programs specifically designed to automate many of those tedious back-office tasks.
Okay, I'm listening. How does it work?
Let's say you receive an invoice. Instead of someone having to manually enter all those details into a spreadsheet.
Which is basically just asking for a headache.
Right. Well, now AI can scan that invoice, pull out all the key information, and input it directly into your accounting system without any typos or errors.
Now that is impressive. But what about the really complicated stuff? Contracts, for example. Those can be beasts to deal with.
Absolutely. And they're a critical part of any construction project. But this is another area where AI is changing the game.
Really? Is AI like a lawyer now? Can it decipher all that legal mumbo-jumbo?
In a way, yes. There are AI programs specifically designed to analyze contracts, highlight those key clauses, flag potential risks, even spot inconsistencies a human might miss.
It's like having an entire legal team at your fingertips, but without the expensive hourly rates.
Exactly. And this is a game changer, especially for smaller construction firms that might not have the resources for a dedicated legal team. AI levels the playing field.
I can see that. Everyone has access to that same level of expertise. You mentioned earlier that AI can identify risks in the back office. How so?
Great question. See, AI excels at recognizing patterns in large data sets. And in the world of construction, those patterns can often reveal potential risks.
Okay, give me an example. How does AI-powered risk management work in practice?
Let's say a construction firm is considering bidding on a new project. AI can analyze tons of historical data from past projects, material costs, labor availability, even weather patterns specific to that region.
So it's basically telling you whether or not to take on a project.
It's more about providing insights to make smarter decisions. It's not a crystal ball, but it can definitely help you weigh your options and understand the potential risks involved.
That makes a lot of sense, especially in an industry like construction where so much can happen.
Right. And it's not just about managing risk on individual projects. AI can analyze broader market trends, things like price fluctuations for building materials or upcoming changes to building codes.
So it's not just about building smarter buildings, but building smarter businesses as well.
Exactly. AI gives construction businesses, no matter how big or small, the tools they need to be more competitive, more efficient, and ultimately more successful.
It's incredible to see how AI is already transforming the construction industry. And this is just the beginning, right? What does the future hold for AI in this sector?
You're right, we're just getting started. As AI technology improves, we can expect to see even more innovative applications. One area I'm particularly excited about is the development of even more advanced robots.
Okay, even more advanced than the ones we've discussed. Like what?
Think beyond just bricklaying or welding. We're talking about robots that can adapt to changing environments on the fly, learn from their mistakes, and collaborate seamlessly with human workers.
So less like robots are tools and more like they're part of the team.
Precisely. Imagine a construction site where humans and robots work side by side, each bringing their own unique skills to the table.
Now that sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. What other exciting advancements are on the horizon?
Well, another area with huge potential is in building materials. Researchers are using AI to develop new types of concrete, for instance, that are stronger, lighter, and more environmentally friendly.
So not just smarter buildings, but buildings made from smarter materials too. That's amazing.
Exactly. These AI-designed materials have the potential to make the entire industry more sustainable. Imagine buildings that are not only energy efficient, but made from materials with a significantly lower carbon footprint.
Wow, the possibilities really are endless when you combine AI and human ingenuity.
I completely agree. AI is a powerful tool, but it's up to us humans to use it responsibly and ethically, especially when it comes to something as important as the buildings we live and work in.
That's a really important point. So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive into AI in construction, what's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
I hope they realize that AI isn't some futuristic concept. It's here, it's now, and it's already changing the construction industry in amazing ways. For anyone willing to embrace it, the opportunities are incredible.
It's not about replacing jobs. It's about making those jobs safer, more efficient, and creating a more sustainable future for everyone.
Well said. And I'd add that AI has the potential to change the way we think about buildings and infrastructure altogether. It can help us create a more resilient built environment that can adapt to the challenges of the future.
That's a fantastic note to end on. For all our listeners out there, whether you're a construction veteran or just starting out, remember, the future is being built with AI. Stay informed, stay curious, and who knows, maybe you'll be the one to pioneer the next big breakthrough in AI-powered construction. Until next time, keep building toward a smarter future.
It's all about those 3D models we talked about earlier. They play a huge role here. Imagine your building could practically tell you when something's wrong.
Okay, now you've got my attention. How does that work?
Think of it like this. You've got sensors placed strategically throughout the entire building. These sensors are constantly monitoring everything.
Everything. Like what kind of everything?
We're talking temperature, humidity, even vibrations in different systems. It's like giving the building a full physical every minute of every day.
Okay, so the building is wired for sound, or I guess data in this case. But what happens when one of these sensors detects something off?
That's when the AI really steps up to the plate. It's constantly analyzing that mountain of data from all those sensors, looking for any little thing that could be a sign of trouble.
So it's like having an army of building inspectors swarming the place 24/7.
Even better, AI can often detect these potential problems weeks, sometimes even months, before a human would ever notice them.
Now that is impressive. But with all this talk about data and sensors, I have to ask, isn't it expensive to run one of these AI-powered buildings?
It seems counterintuitive, right? But it can actually save you a ton of money in the long run.
How so?
Well, think about it. By catching those small problems early, you avoid those major budget-busting repairs down the line.
Oh, right, like that leaky faucet that turns into a full-blown plumbing disaster if you ignore it long enough.
Exactly. And time is money, right? AI helps minimize downtime by catching those issues before they cause any major disruptions.
So it's not just about preventing damage, it's about keeping things running smoothly and efficiently. Speaking of efficiency, AI can also make buildings more environmentally friendly, can't it?
Absolutely. Remember how we were talking about AI optimizing energy use in the design phase?
Yeah.
Well, that continues even after the building is up and running.
Really?
Fill me in. Let's say the building's AI notices a particular wing is practically empty during the day. It can automatically adjust things like lighting and temperature in those areas to conserve energy.
It's like the building has a mind of its own, making those decisions for you without you even having to lift a finger.
Precisely. And it's not just about saving money on those energy bills, it's about reducing your carbon footprint. Some AI systems can even factor in the availability of renewable energy sources like solar or wind power.
Wow. It's amazing to think about how AI is impacting every single aspect of construction, from the initial blueprints to how those buildings are actually operated. But I have to wonder, is there anything AI can't do in construction?
Well, everything we've discussed so far, robots, smart buildings, drones, that's really just the tip of the iceberg.
Wait, there's more. You're saying there's even more to this AI and construction story.
Oh, absolutely. Up until now, we've focused on the things we can see, the robots, the drones. But AI is also revolutionizing what we call the back office of construction.
The back office.
You know all that paperwork involved in even a simple construction project, contracts, invoices, permits?
Yeah, sounds like a nightmare.
It can be. And traditionally, it's all been done manually, very time-consuming, and honestly, quite prone to human error. But AI is starting to change all that.
Okay, so you're saying AI can take care of all that tedious paperwork. How exactly does that work?
Well, let's say you receive an invoice. Instead of having to manually type in all those details into a spreadsheet, AI can do it for you.
That sounds like magic.
It's not magic, it's machine learning. There are AI-powered programs out there that can scan invoices, extract the important information, and input it directly into your accounting system, all without making any typos.
No more data entryers. I like the sound of that. But what about those really complex contracts? You know, the ones full of legal jargon that only lawyers understand. Can AI handle those too?
You'd be surprised. There are AI programs designed specifically for analyzing contracts. They can identify key clauses, highlight potential risks, and even flag any inconsistencies or things a human might overlook.
Wow, it's like having a legal expert on your team, but without the hefty hourly rates.
Exactly. And that kind of AI support can be a game changer, especially for those smaller construction companies that may not have the budget for a full legal team. It levels the playing field.
Right. Everyone gets access to that same high-level expertise. Earlier, you mentioned something about AI identifying risks in the back office. How does that work exactly?
Good question. AI is really good at spotting patterns, and sometimes those patterns can reveal hidden risks that we might not pick up on ourselves.
So give me an example. How does that work in a real-world construction setting?
Let's imagine a construction firm is trying to decide whether or not to bid on a new project. AI can analyze past projects, things like material costs, labor availability, even weather patterns, to help assess the risk of potential delays or cost overruns.
So it's almost like AI is giving you a heads up on whether or not a project is worth taking on.
That's a good way to put it. It's not about predicting the future with absolute certainty, but it's about giving you more information so you can make smarter, less risky decisions.
That makes sense, especially in construction where so much can impact a project's timeline.
Absolutely. And this kind of AI-powered risk management isn't just limited to individual projects. It can also be used to analyze broader market trends like fluctuations in material prices or upcoming changes to building codes, helping construction companies stay one step ahead of the curve.
So it's about building smarter businesses as well as smarter buildings.
Exactly. AI gives construction companies, big or small, the tools they need to be more competitive, efficient, and ultimately more successful. And in such a rapidly evolving industry, having those tools can make all the difference.
It's really incredible to see how AI is already transforming the construction industry. And it sounds like this is just the beginning, right?
You're absolutely right. As AI technology continues to evolve, we can expect to see even more innovative uses in construction. I think one area that holds a lot of potential is in the development of even more advanced robots.
Okay. More advanced than the robots we've already talked about. What would those look like?
Think about robots that can actually learn from their experiences, adapting to changing conditions on a job site, and seamlessly collaborating with their human counterparts.
So less like tools and more like actual teammates. That's pretty mind-blowing.
It is exciting. Imagine a construction site where robots and humans are working together, each contributing their own unique strengths to get the job done.
That does sound pretty futuristic, but in a good way. So we've got these advanced robots on the horizon. What else is in store for the future of AI in construction?
Well, another area that's really fascinating is the use of AI to develop new and innovative building materials. Researchers are already using AI to create things like self-healing concrete that's stronger, lighter, and more sustainable.
It's amazing to think that we're not just using AI to construct buildings, but we're also using it to create the very materials those buildings are made out of.
Precisely. These AI-designed materials have the potential to completely revolutionize the industry, making it possible to create buildings that are not only energy efficient, but also have a much smaller carbon footprint.
Talk about a win-win. It seems like when you combine AI and human ingenuity, the possibilities really are limitless.
I couldn't agree more. AI is an incredibly powerful tool, but ultimately it's up to us humans to decide how to use it, especially when it comes to something as essential as the places where we live, work, and play.
That's a great point to end on. So, as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of AI in construction, what's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with today?
I think the biggest thing is to emphasize that AI isn't some distant, futuristic concept. It's here, It's now, and it's already having a major impact on the construction industry. For those who are willing to embrace it, there are some truly amazing opportunities out there.
It's not about AI taking over jobs. It's about using this incredible technology to make those jobs safer, more efficient, and to build a more sustainable future for everyone.
Well said. It's about reimagining what's possible in construction and using AI to create a more resilient built environment for generations to come.
Absolutely. To all our listeners out there, whether you're a seasoned construction pro or just starting out, remember, the future of construction is being built with AI. Stay curious, stay informed, and maybe you'll be the one to come up with the next big AI-powered breakthrough. Until next time, keep building toward a smarter future.
Thanks for checking out the Smarter Business with AI podcast. We hope you found today's episode insightful. Be sure to subscribe for more weekly discussions on how AI is shaping the future of SMEs. New episodes and use cases every Sunday. If you're ready to explore AI solutions for your business, visit us at neweraintelligence.com. See you next time.